Poverty. Today, the most challenging problem what world and even India is facing. Among the problem world facing is poverty, rural employment, infrastructure and sustainable development. So today, let us discuss some of the concepts of poverty. First, we should know what is poverty, that is introduction to poverty. Next, who are poor? That is also an important concept here. And how are poor people identified? And the number of poor living in India and as well as world. Along with that, we should know what causes poverty. Once we know what causes poverty, it's effective and sufficient to find out the policies and programs towards poverty alleviation. And finally, as other chapters, we should know a critical assessment, that is, what are the important impact that has brought under the policies and programs about the poverty. Fine. So let me start with the quotes of Adam Smith. Adam Smith says, no society can flourish and be happy until and unless the members of the society are happy and they are in miserable conditions. Poverty is a situation where the people want to get rid of it, just they want to escape out of that. That is a situation of poverty. So, poverty is a situation where people are not able to get 2 meals a day. That is food, shelter and clothing. Along with the food, shelter and clothing, people also should get the education, better health care services. Along with that, the sanitation facility, drinking water facility, and also poor people should get a voice to raise against the exploitation which is happening to their community. Fine. Now, let's see. From the last 7 decades, India is striving to come out of poverty and to reduce poverty. To reduce poverty, India is providing the minimum basic needs to the poor people and thereby reducing poverty. This is achieved through the 5-year plans. The 5-year plans which is envisaged is through Antyodaya. Antyodaya is reducing the poorest among poor in a better way. The uplifting of the poor people, that is integrating the poor people. Integrating the poor people into the mainstreams by reducing the poverty and increasing the quality or standard of the people. In this way, Jawaharlal Nehru, while addressing the Constituent Assembly in 1947, he has addressed about ending the poverty and also he strived for that. Poverty has different phases and also poverty change from time to time and from place to place. Poverty has got different dimensions. Among that, we definitely need to know where we stand today. In that, India, that is among the 1/5 of the poor people of the world is shared by an Indian. That is 1/5 of the world poor belongs to India alone. Coming to the world poverty, poverty as we know it is a challenging issue even to the world. Nearly 300 million people in the world are poor, where they struggle to get meals a day. Some of the poor among them don't even have a shelter and proper clothes to wear. So, this is about the a brief introduction about the poverty. Some of the poor people are very vulnerable. Sometimes they don't even get a single meal a day. To know how to reduce poverty, what works to reduce poverty and what doesn't work to reduce poverty, first we should define poverty, we should describe poverty, and we should measure poverty. Before measuring poverty, we should define poverty. In the way to define poverty, poverty cannot be defined exactly or approximately, this is what poverty or that is what poverty. We can't exactly tell this is a perfect situation of a poor people. So, but anyway, we have to measure poverty. So, we have been studying in statistics for economics. Any problem, first when it is identified, the data should be collected regarding the problem. So, while collecting the data, definitely we should know who are poor, how are poor people identified. Who are poor? This is a big question today. Even though we categorize poverty into many measures, we divide poverty into many types, still who are poor are really a challenging question. In this, suppose if we take asset as a key feature, or suppose if we take the health or education as a key feature, it is very difficult to define poverty. Instead of defining poverty, definitely we can identify the poor people who are around us. Some of us are poor and some of us are rich. So, this who are poor can be explained well with an example of a short story. Obviously, that is there in your textbook also. Two kids who were born in a city, that is Anu and Sudha. Anu and Sudha are the two girls born in a city, but different families. Anu was a girl or was a kid born to a construction laborers, and Sudha were born to a rich family. And Anu's father and mother were a construction laborers, and the arrival of Anu was not celebrated, and Anu's mother did not get much health care when she delivered Anu, but Sudha's case was different. When Sudha was born, their parent celebrated her birth, and Sudha was born in a very good multi-speciality hospital. So, Sudha obviously she got very good healthcare facility. While growing, Anu was a good dancer and she loved to dance. And Sudha also was a good artist where she likes to paint. But unfortunately, when coming to the Anu's part, she could not continue her likes, because when she was 7 years old, she was forced to work in the construction place. So, because as Anu's parents were migrants, they were migrating from one place to another place, she couldn't go to school. But Sudha's was a different story. As she was born to a rich family, she got a very good education facility. Along with her taste, Sudha was trained with a painter, and finally Sudha one day she became a good painter, that is a good artist. But Anu's destiny, she couldn't continue the dance, and Anu was as usual, she was working from one place where their parents used to migrate. So, this is the two extremes of poverty and richness. Okay, these are the extremes of poverty and richness. So in between, a variety of people come. Variety of people, say the poor people, middle class people, upper middle class, the rich people exist there. Okay? Yes. So now identifying poor are quite bit easy instead of describing them. Some of the examples of the poor people are the push cart vendors. Usually this question will be asked for 2 marks. Give some examples for the poor people. Among that, push cart vendors, the woman who strings the flour, and the street vendors, and the street cobblers, and also of course beggars. Even beggars are the best examples for poor people. And also we could definitely not the rag pickers. Even the rag pickers are the poorest among the poor. Okay, now looking into the assets. What are the assets poor people owns? The poor people own very few assets, and some of them don't even have such type of asset. Usually poor people reside in a kacha housements. Kacha housement is the house which is constructed by making use of burnt muds, the straw, the bamboos, the grass. Usually this type of hut doesn't have a proper roof. Some of the poorest among them don't even have such type of hut. So these are some of the assets of the poor people. Speaking about the rural poor's asset, okay, asset of the rural poor's, the rural poor usually they are the landless agricultural laborers. Okay, the landless agricultural laborers are the very poor among the rural areas. In the landless poors, these landless poors also work as a non-agriculture workers. So usually they will be getting work only in season. Other time their condition will be very vulnerable. Many do not get to have 2 meals a day. Starvation and hunger, even this will be asked for 1 marks. Starvation and hunger are the key features of the poor people. Okay, 1 marks question it is. Starvation and hunger. Starvation and hunger are the 2 important key features of the poorest households. The poor lack basic skills. They lack a basic skill of working, and also they lack literacy. So once they lack skill and literacy, they have a very less economic opportunity to participate in the gainful and the productive employment. So these are some of the key features of the poorest households. Coming back to their health conditions, malnutrition is alarmingly high among the poor people. Malnutrition is alarmingly high, where malnutrition leads to ill health. So ill health and disability makes the poor physically weak. Even this will be 1 marks. What makes poor physically weak? So malnutrition causes ill health. So they borrow money from the rich money lenders in their villages. That too, the rate of interest was the money lender charge will be very high. This makes the poor lead into a chronic indebtedness. Chronic indebtedness is a situation where the poor people cannot repay the loan amount back to their borrowers. So this makes them poor, physically also very weak. Poor people lack sanitation. Many of them don't have electricity facility. Cooking part is still worst, where they use firewood, and sometimes they also use the dung cakes for cooking. Coming to the poor women, the very name itself says women who are poor, she have a lot of inequality in the economy and even her family. Women belong to a poor family do not have a capacity to decide or also raise her voice against the domestic violence. Okay? She cannot raise a voice against her domestic violence or what is happening to her. And the woman who is poor, going towards or moving towards her motherhood, will not receive a proper health care facility. And even once when she finished her motherhood, she won't receive a better health care facility, and also she suffer from nutrition problems. And the child which is born to a poor woman are less likely to survive. Even though it survives, it will be suffering from ill health. These are the conditions of the women, that's poor women who live in the society. Also, there is a lot of destitute women who don't have a financial support in the society. Now, coming back to the occupation and ownership of asset. Poor people possess very few assets, especially in the villages. Usually these are the people who work in the other's farm and earn their livelihood. In the urban poor, comparing to the urban poor, who are the urban poor? Urban poor are the people who are the poor who are in the cities. Usually the rural poor who migrate from the villages, nearby villages, and livelihood. They come to the cities and they do variety of works. They are the poor in the urban areas. These are the people who come from villages. They do lot of casual works, casual wage works, and also they are self-employed, where they sell many variety of things in the streets. So these are some of the examples for who are poor. Fine. Now let's see how are poor people identified. In India, to solve the problem of poverty, we have to find a viable and sustainable strategies to solve the poverty. So among them, government has introduced an n number of schemes to reduce poverty. Speaking to pre-independent India, Dadabhai Naoroji was a person who was the first to bring the concept of poverty line. He was the person who first introduced the concept of poverty line in pre-independent India. So Dadabhai Naoroji introduced the concept of jail cost of living. Okay? He introduced the concept of jail cost of living. What is this jail cost of living? You people might know what are the facilities they get in the jail, or what are the minimum basic needs what they get in the jail, or minimum consumption expenditure. Based on the minimum consumption expenditure in the jail, he is going to make a strategy, that is the jail cost of living. So, this was a post-independent time where he introduced this. In 1962, the Planning Commission was formed to study or to identify poor people. In that, one such committee was Task Force on Projection of Minimum Needs and Effective Consumption Demand. Once again, Task Force on Projection of Minimum Needs and Effective Consumption Demand. This was formed in the year 1979. So, there were some expert groups who were formed to identify poverty in 2005, where they had a different strategies or tools to find out the poor people. So, the Planning Commission is really striving hard to find out who are poor. So, now let us see how are poor people categorized and what is poverty line. Okay, to get into this, first we should know what poverty line is. Poverty line is line which divides poor and non-poors. Okay, so here we get a variety of poors. One such is absolutely poor, then very poor, poor. So, poverty line divides absolutely poor, very poor and poor from the others. Who are the others? So, above this poor, all of a sudden we won't get rich people. The next version of this is not so poor. And next we get the middle class. We get the middle class, and one more category is upper middle class. Upper middle class we have, then we have the rich. Will it stop here to rich? No. We have one more, that is the very rich. Okay. Once again, apart from that, also we have millionaires, we have billionaires. So, these are some of the categories how we divide the poor. In this, poverty line defines or divides. Poverty line is going to divide the two divisions. One is the very poor and one more is who are not so poor or the rich. Once again, this will not end here. Many of them are still divided poverty, that is categorizing poverty. So, this usually will be used as the categorizing of poor, that is the so this question will be asked for 5 marks. Explain the categories of poor. Okay, so where you have to write the diagram and explain. Just you have to explain what it is. What are the different types of poverty? So, in the different types of poverty, we have 3 types of poverty: chronic poor, transient poor, chronic poor, transient poor and non-poor. Which Along with this, the diagram carries 5 marks. So, the first you have to write the poverty line. We know that poverty line defines the condition of the poor. This is always poor. These are the one such category is the always poor and usually poor. So these two, always poor and usually poor, are the chronic poors. Kadu badatana. Okay, we call it as chronic poors or chronic poverty. And this is a poverty line. This is a poverty line. And next category is transient poors. Here we get churning poors. This is one more category known as churning poors and occasionally poors. Churning poors and occasionally poor. And is not so poor or they are the rich category. Okay. So this is a poverty line. This is non-poors. They are known as non-poors. So these transient poors. We'll see how it always poors. They never move above the poverty line. They never move about the poverty line. Usually poors are always they are poor, but sometimes they go above the poverty line. These are the casual wage workers or seasonal workers, what we call. Seasonal workers, once they get employment, they will be above the poverty line. Once they are unemployed, they become below the poverty line. Next we have churning poors and occasionally poors. Churning poors, it is the poverty who move in and out of the poverty line. Okay, they move in and out of the poverty line. When they work, they will be above poverty line. When they doesn't, they become below. Okay, in the same way, occasionally poor are not poor. Actually, to say they are not poor, actually they are rich. Sometimes due to their bad luck, they become poor people. Okay, maybe how they become poor people is, see, in a family who are well versed, maybe mother or father, someone in the family may fall sick. Maybe for their medical expenditure, they have to sell their property or the asset, whatever they have. At that time, they become poor. Sometimes what happens, even business, when they get lost in the business, even that time they becomes occasionally poor. So these two are categories of transient poors. Next we have non-poors. These are the people who are very rich. Whatever their condition, whatever they sell, they never become poor. They are the non-poors. Okay? Yes, fine. So this is how we categorize the poor. Now let us move to the poverty line. So we are reading here poverty line, that is line which divides poor and rich, that is the poverty line. On what basis or what determines the poverty line? Poverty line can be determined in many ways. Poverty line can be determined in many ways. Among them, one of the measure is, we are going to measure the poverty line in monetary terms. We know, according to F.A. Walker, money is what money does. Okay? So, we have to definitely define poverty on the monetary terms. Keeping this in mind, according to the national standards, they have decided to calculate the poverty based on the calorie intake. According to this, that is, the monthly per capita expenditure is considered to calculate the calorie intake. In 2011 and 12, the person who is getting 2,400 calories intake in the rural areas, okay, 2,400 calories in the rural areas and 2,100 calories in the urban areas. 2,400 in the rural and 2,100 in the urban areas. If their intake is this, they are above the poverty line. And the expenditure, when we are measuring this expenditure in the monetary terms, a person who gets 816 rupees in the rural areas and rupees 1000 in the urban areas. If he is spending this, he is above poverty line. Okay, students, just think of this. Is it sufficient for a person who lives in urban area 1000 rupees as his consumption expenditure? And the person who has 816 rupees in the rural areas? And also you can see the difference between these two. Why in the urban areas they have predicted less is the cost of living in the urban areas are more than the rural areas. But this type of measurement is not viable. It has got some drawbacks because this is going to categorize the very poor people and the poor people into the net shell. So, it is difficult for the government to identify who are very poor among them. Just think of 1000 rupees. Is it sufficient for one person to get 1000 rupees? If he is consuming 1000 rupees, will it be sufficient? No. This is exactly difficult. Okay. So, definitely we have to take into consideration just ownership of land or asset will not just count the poverty line. We have to take some of the important measures like education, health, along with the food, education, health, better sanitation facility, also socio-economic freedom should be considered. And coming back to the head count ratio or what we say the minimum standards what a poverty line should give us. Development is about removing the obstacles to the things that a person can do in life. Illiteracy, that is an obstacle. He has to overcome that. To overcome illiteracy, literacy should be provided. Ill health, a good health condition should be provided. Civic and political freedom. Civil and political freedom should be given to the poor people. Okay? Along with the government, even poor himself has to work to get all this. Fine. Now let's see the number of poor. Okay? The number of poor in the country. We might be excited to know how many poor are there in the country and where do they reside. Which state is working better to overcome poverty and which state is striving hard to overcome poverty. In that, first we should see what is a head count ratio. Head count ratio is nothing but when the number of poor is estimated as the proportion of people below the poverty line. Okay? When the number of people is estimated as the proportion of below people who are below the poverty line. So, usually this will be also asked for 1 marks, and while seeing the trend in the poverty line, this is the rural and the urban ratio. Okay? The trend in the poverty line is here, this is about the rural and this is urban. You can see this, nearly 350 million people were poor in the year 2005. In 1973, 260 million, 260 million poor people were there in village. And in urban areas, that is in cities, around 50 million people used to live in cities. Compared to these two, rural people or the poor people from villages are more. They were, that is, the country, 80% of poor people lived in rural villages alone. And now, today, even today, 50% of the people are living in below poverty line. So, but when you compare the statistics here, you can see in 1973, there were more number of poor, that is, the people who were living below poverty line was 80%, and now it has been reduced to 50%. And when you see the trend of poverty, that is state poverty line in percentage, the trend in the state poverty line, we can see this. Usually this will be asked for 2 marks, which are the states where the poverty has been reduced. Usually this will be asked. You can see here the percentage wise calculation of different states poverty. One such is Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Gujarat, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, UP and West Bengal. So among these, the states where the poverty was very high, that is the national poverty standards they couldn't reach was, this is Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh. These are the 5 states where the more number of poor, that is 2/4 of the poor people exist in these 5 states. But due to the hard work of the government and policies and programs of the government that was introduced, some of the states could recover the poverty and it has reduced the poverty. 2 such states which has considerably reduced the poverty is here the Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is a state where the poverty has been considerably reduced, and also the state of Rajasthan, it has been considerably reduced. Coming back to Karnataka, yes, of course, the poverty also reduced in Karnataka, but it is not considerably reduced. The number of poor people in Karnataka still more exist. So, speaking about the poverty line, some of the important features which has to be included in poverty. Also, the literacy should be more considered. Poverty can be directly or indirectly can be related to employment. And employment is related to skill and illiteracy. So once the poor people get a proper skill and literacy, definitely they get a good employment.